What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be going over Scary Movie 6. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and if it's a time anything movie, TV show, video game later, or just anything nerdy, you are in the right place. And like I said, today we're talking about Scary Movie 6. Without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, as a prerequisite, I am a huge fan of the first two Scary movies. They're movies that I grew up with, that I watch constantly, that I still watch to this day, and they still make me laugh every single time that I watch them. Although 3 and 4 aren't made by the Wayans brothers, I still have some guilty pleasure watching those, especially 3. I feel like 3 is probably the funniest of the non-Wayans brothers era. So I can still have a good enjoyment with the other Scary movies, but 1 and 2 are my pride and possession when it comes to the Scary Movie franchise. Of course, those are the absolute two best and what people most regard as the best, and the ones that people typically only consider when it comes to the Scary movies if they are going to go back to the franchise to rewatch any of them. So of course, with the Wayans brothers coming back, everything felt like it was lining up where we're going to come back true to form, push the boundaries again and make Scary movies feel like what they used to feel when we were younger. And I was extremely excited for this film going in. But of course, as reviews started coming in, people starting to talk, I started to get very worried about the quality and funniness of what this movie was going to contain and what my enjoyment would have been once I do finally go and watch it. So before I give you all my thoughts on this movie, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section down below. Do you guys enjoy the Scary Movie franchise? Do you guys enjoy spoof movies at all, parody movies? It's a very divisive comedy subgenre where not many people like them, so they just think they're super stupid and just aren't funny at all. What do you guys think about those types of films, and what do you guys think about the Scary Movie franchise as a whole? Definitely let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into my positives. And going along with my pros is I do enjoy having the old cast all come back together, seeing Marlon, Shawn Wayne, Anna, Brendan, all that kind of stuff, everybody coming in to reunite this franchise, to try to spark a new love for this franchise. I do love seeing them all on screen, and I think when they're on screen, it's the best parts of this movie. I do think they still bring a good amount of comedic nature to them, where you could still have a decent amount of laughs through here and there. I didn't laugh a whole lot, but I felt like my biggest laughs or my most chuckles or times that I smiled were during the moments where these characters from the original movies were on screen, because they feel like they have the best comedic presence. So that was something that I really enjoyed about this movie, is just seeing these characters back and seeing how they were able to bring back some of those laughs that we've been missing for so long. I loved, of course, a lot of the movie references. Of course, Scary movies are technically parodies, and they are taking moments or entire story plot lines from horror movies or movies that are already out there and making them just silly and goofy. And I do like all the movies that they reference, like The Substance, Sinners, Scream 5, things that are very prominent, but you have little small subtle things like John Wick, or like even stuff like Project Hail Mary, where you'll miss it really fast if you don't pay attention, or something like Grogu or It Follows, that it can't be super it's not super prominent. If you've never seen those movies or you don't know what those IPs are, you might not recognize them right away. And I just had a good time, picking out every single little kind of Easter egg or movie that they reference, especially the ones that weren't like blatantly obvious, like, hey, we're referencing this movie. So I do think that was really fun as well, to kind of go over that and see all the movies they reference, because there was some good moments in those movies that they did reference and made fun of and parodied. So there was still, again, some good comedic stuff that came out of this, that it wasn't completely flat. I did have some pretty good laughs and some pretty good chuckles here and there. Overall, is the Scary Movie franchise back to its form? No, it is not, but I'm not going to completely discount this one. I do think there was things that went wrong that we'll talk about in the cons, but overall, I wouldn't say that I completely, absolutely hate this movie. Was it the best of the franchise? Probably not. It's probably the bottom 2 of this franchise, but there was still something there that I feel like they need to kind of get back to the drawing board and try again. If they made a Scary Movie 7, I am going to be there opening weekend because I trust the Wayans brothers. I do think they are still hilarious writers and can make a great scary movie if they approach it right. So, did I completely hate this movie? I didn't walk out hating it, but I was very just, indifferent about it. It just didn't really work all that well, but I still had some good moments while there was a lot of things to not like about it. And again, it's a movie that I probably won't go back to rewatch that often, if at all. Kind of like Scary Movie 5. This is kind of be one of those that's like, it's there, but I'm not really in the mood for that one. But I will be open to a Scary Movie 7 if that does come to fruition. Not sure how that's really going to go, but I really hope this is something that they can continue to do, or at least make a White Chicks 2. That would be absolutely awesome as well. But overall, didn't hate it. It just wasn't very good. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the cons. And there's a lot here. There was just so many jokes that fell flat. There were so many moments where the entire theater was just absolutely silent. Not even a chuckle, not even a loud breath, like a like just nothing. It was just silent, silent, silent. And I don't know what it is. It's just I felt like the jokes or the dialogue or the humor was so forced, especially when it came to the newer characters. Like I said in my positives, that the legacy characters of this franchise had probably the best comedic relief. But when it came to the newer cast and newer characters that they brought along for this franchise, it felt so forced. It felt like the dialogue was stupid to be stupid, not how you would really remember the Scary Movie 1 and 2, where it was stupid, but it just felt like that's what the characters were. It was naturally stupid. It just kind of came out of them effortlessly, where this one, it felt like you were just trying to sound stupid, trying to be dumb and silly and goofy, and just really trying to hit home with these jokes, and they ultimately fall flat. The advertisement talked about pushing the lines, pushing the boundaries, and realistically, this movie is not offensive at all. There's no offensive comedy in here that I would think someone would come out to this movie and absolutely hate it because they said something specific about some sort of thing in the world that would offend anybody. There's not much things that I can really pinpoint in this film that were offensive that would have brought a huge laugh but could have been controversial at the same time. So I don't think they really pushed any boundaries in this film as well. I felt like the story was kind of weak. They're just following the Scary Movie 5 story, and I felt like there were so many more horror movies in this last 10, 15 years that they could have parodied instead of Scary Movie 5. There are so many better stories that could have been much more funnier and could have worked better. They already did the Ghostface parody. Why do it again? I get it, to bring back an iconic, character with the, goofy Scary Movie Ghostface, but they could have gone in many different directions that I believe would have worked so much better. And also, there was just so many repeat jokes. This was kind of like a remember the past type of a movie. Like, hey, remember when we made this joke back in Scary Movie 1? Yep, here it is again. And that doesn't work. People don't care about that. We want new, fresh jokes that fit with the times, that fit with what we're trying to talk about, that can offend someone, that can make us laugh, that can be a new iconic moment instead of just referencing everything that happened in the last, Scary Movie 1 and 2. So it just ended up being so bland, so boring at moments, and just ultimately not funny. And that's unfortunate because, again, the Wayans brothers are still very funny people. They can make a funny movie, but I think they approached this one wrong, where they were trying to please the fans of 1 and 2 by showing things that they did back then, and that just doesn't work. We want to see new things with the same edgy humor of 1 and 2, not just repeat 1 and 2. And I can go on and on because there's so many things that happen in this movie that is just it was just nothing. It was just nothingness, and it's unfortunate because I really wanted this movie to succeed. I really wanted me to leave this movie being like, what is everybody talking about? This movie's hilarious. And that's just not the case. This movie was just not funny at all. Again, don't get me wrong. I had, three, four, five good laughs, a couple of chuckles here and there, but the rest of it just you're straight face the whole time, just straight face. There's not much to really write home about, and that just sucks. It really, really sucks. But I hope this doesn't discourage them to make another one. I really hope that they learn from this and reevaluate, reassess to what went wrong, and listen to the audience of what we didn't like about it, because I feel like a lot of people have been saying that the repeat jokes, that the force jokes and stuff like that weren't funny. That's not what we liked about Scary Movie 1 and 2. So why would we bring that back? Or why would we try to do it this way, approach it this way, if that's not what we liked about Scary Movie 1 and 2? So I don't know. There's many things that went wrong with this movie. There's many things that could have gone right with this movie, but ultimately this is what we got, and I'm hoping that this doesn't completely kill the franchise, because I do love the Scary Movie concept, and I hope they do a White Chicks. I hope they do another Haunted House, because again, I think the Wayans brothers are genuinely hilarious, and I would love to see them do more. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you thought about Scary Movie 6 in the comment section down below. And again, if you guys have time with anything movie, TV show, video game related, or just anything nerdy, you are in the right place. Make sure to like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video.